Excerpt from The Poison Tree, A Tale of Hindu Life in Bengal, by Bankim Chandra Chatterjee. As Nagendra traveled downriver by boat, a fierce storm drove him from the shore. While looking for shelter from the lashing rain, he came upon a dilapidated house where he found a girl of 13, Kunda Nandini, and her dying father. Unable to locate Kunda's aunt in Calcutta, Nagendra wrote to his wife Surjamukhi for assistance. The Poison Tree documents the experiences of Nagendra, a wealthy landowner, his wife, Surjamukhi, and an orphan girl, Kunarda Nandini, who Nagendra brings home with him after a trip to Calcutta. Hindu life in Bengal in the late 19th century was grounded in the caste system, a social practice that placed every member of society into one of 4 castes. Each individual within a caste had a designated role in society. Surjamukhi's reply to Nagendra's letter came in a few days. It was after this manner. In picking up a little girl, have you forgotten me? Many unripe things are esteemed. People like green guavas and green cucumbers. Green coconuts are cooling. This low-born female is also, I think, very young, else in meeting with her why should you forget me? Joking apart, have you given up all right over this girl? If not, I beg her from you. It is my business to arrange for her. In whatever becomes yours I have the right to share, but in this case I see your sister has entire possession. Still, I shall not vex myself much if Kamal usurps my rights. Do you ask what do I want with the girl? I wish to give her in marriage with Taracharan. You know how much I have sought for a suitable wife for him. If Providence has sent us a good girl, do not disappoint me. If Kamal will give her up, bring Kunda Nandini with you when you come. I have written to Kamal also recommending this. I am having ornaments fashioned and am making other preparations for the marriage. Do not linger in Calcutta. Is it not true that if a man stays 6 months in that city, he becomes quite stupid? If you design to marry Kunda, bring her with you, and I will give her to you. Only say that you propose to marry her, and I will arrange the marriage basket. Who Taracharan was will be explained later. Whoever he was, both Nagendra and Kamal Mani consented to Surjamukhi's proposal. Therefore it was resolved that when Nagendra went home Kunda Nandini should accompany him. Everyone consented with delight, and Kamal also prepared some ornaments. Surjamukhi's father's house was in Konagar. Her father was a Kastha of good position. He was cashier in some house at Calcutta. Surjamukhi was his only child. In her infancy, a Kastha widow named Shrimdi lived in her father's house as a servant and looked after Surjamukhi. Shrimdi had one child named Taracharan, of the same age as Surjamukhi. With him Surjamukhi had played, and on account of this childish association, she felt towards him the affection of a sister. Shrimdi was a beautiful woman, and therefore soon fell into trouble. A wealthy man of the village, of evil character, having cast his eyes upon her, she forsook the house of Surjamukhi's father. Whither she went no one exactly knew, but she did not return. Taracharan, forsaken by his mother, remained in the house of Surjamukhi's father, who was a very kind-hearted man, and brought up this deserted boy as his own child, not keeping him in slavery as an unpaid servant, but having him taught to read and write. Taracharan learned English at a free mission school. Afterwards Surjamukhi was married, and some years later her father died. By this time Taracharan had learned English after a clumsy fashion, but he was not qualified for any business. Rendered homeless by the death of Surjamukhi's father, he went to her house. At her instigation Nagendra opened a school in the village, and Taracharan was appointed master. Nowadays, by means of the grant-and-aid system in many villages, sleek-haired, song-singing, harmless master babus appear, but at that time such a being as a master babu was scarcely to be seen. Consequently, Taracharan appeared as one of the village gods, especially as it was known in the bazaar that he had read The Citizen of the World, The Spectator, and 3 books of Euclid. On account of these gifts, he was received into the Brahmo Samaj of Debendra Babu, the Zemindar of Debipur, and reckoned as one of that Babu's retinue. Tara Charan wrote many essays on widow marriage, on the education of women, and against idol worship, read them weekly in the Sandwich, and delivered many discourses beginning with, "O, most merciful God." Some of these he took from the Tatwa Badini, and some he caused to be written for him by the school pundit. He was forever preaching, abandon idol worship, give choice in marriage, give women education. Why do you keep them shut up in a cage? Let women come out. There was a special cause for this liberality on the subject of women, inasmuch as in his own house there was no woman. Up to this time he had not married. Surjamukhi had made great efforts to get him married, but as his mother's story was known in Governpur, no respectable case that consented to give him his daughter. Many a common, disreputable case the girl he might have had, but Surjamukhi, regarding Tara Charan as a brother, would not give her consent, since she did not choose to call such a girl sister-in-law. While she was seeking for a respectable case the girl, Nagendra's letter came, describing Kunda Nandini's gifts and beauty. She resolved to give her to Tara Charan in marriage.